God, I hope I get it. I hope I get it. I hope I get the Disenfranchised podcast. That podcast all about those franchises of one. Those films that fancy themselves full-fledged franchises before falling flat on their face after the first film. I'm your host, Stephen Foxworthy. Joining me, as always, the man who never trusts another man in a tunic. It's Tucker. Hey, Tucker.
Hello, Stephen.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing all right. I watched this movie, fantastic. But nonetheless, I'm doing all right.
It's been hours. So I watched it this morning in prime. Well, it's early afternoon, so it was prime nap time.
I watched this immediately after work, which feels like insult to injury, but
yeah, that sucks.
Yeah,
I did it before I did anything today. Like I was like, I'm gonna look for jobs, but I should probably watch this movie first and just kind of chill. And so I did, and after about 15 minutes, I just treated it as a good excuse to have a nap.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
And so I watched about as much of this movie as Brett did, but I was in and out instead of just cutting it off.
And speaking of Brett, do my ears deceive me, or is this the man we all know from his breakdown on with Matt Lauer? It's our good friend Brett Wright, back for more. Hey, Brett.
Hello, Stephen.
Well, two in a row.
I did two. I've done two in a row.
I know, but dare we hope?
I almost bailed. This movie's bad.
Understandable.
So let me.
I get it.
Let me tell the listeners the story I told you. About an hour and a half from our recording time, I got the email, the invite to come to our recording. That is when I realized we had a recording. So I quickly scrambled.
Classic Brett.
Scrambled to look. The ADHD was ADHD,
as it is wont to do.
And so I quickly scrambled to try to watch the film because I had just enough time. I could have potentially finished it if I'd started it right then and there. So I was like,
at what cost, Brett? At what cost?
I mean, I didn't know at the time.
How could you?
So I throw it on. I'm watching it. I'm like, I'm not really digging it because I have grown out of Will Ferrell's humor long ago.
Oh, we'll get into the Will Ferrell of it all.
And then I get about a half hour in. He makes the Polish joke about the dumb Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Mm-hmm.
And I tap out and went and had a craving for cheeseburgers, so I went to Burger King. I was like, you know what, I'm going to go get some BK.
Got yourself a flame-broiled Whopper.
No, I just got a couple of flame-broiled double cheeseburgers. I don't like that Whopper shit.
Brett, would it be safe to say that at BK you had it your way?
I did. Because
ruled.
Not only did I get the 2 double cheeseburgers, I got the fiery, spicy mozzarella sticks in the cute How to Train Your Dragon box.
Which is the first thing we saw Brett do when he joined the recording, was flap the little toothless wings at us, which was
fucking adorable.
It is fucking adorable, and I was about to say it is fucking adorable.
Outside of the fact that there was no reason to remake that film in live action.
Nope.
But not at all. But, hey, we got cute mozzarella stick boxes out of it, I guess. Oh, and a Whopper with a red bun. We got that too.
But it's spicy. It's spicy. That's the whole thing, is dragons are fire. So the How to Train Your Dragon menu at BK, where you can have it your way, you rule, is all about things being spicy.
Except from what I'm given to understand, the Whopper just has a red bun. It's not spicy.
Are you sure it's not spicy?
No, they've known to do this. Halloween a couple years.
The black buns, or they had the purple ones for Addams Family.
And they did a green one. They did a green bun too one year for Halloween.
And they made people poop green.
Yeah. That's what they look.
They changed the color of poops.
PSA, because people freak out. I see it all the time on the internet. Like, why is my poop a different color? It dies. Food dies.
Yeah, dies. Yeah.
I was going to say Frankenberry was doing it to kids for years.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Spinach does it to me, and that's all natural.
Yeah.
You ever eat cooked spinach, and then like a couple hours later, you poop, and it just looks the exact same as it did when you ate it. Never happened to you?
Well, there's the thing. I don't
Poop? Understandable.
No, it's nothing. It's closed up down there. I don't inspect my poop. Should I be doing that? Like,
Okay, now this is where this stems from. You guys, look, I don't give a fuck about no Land of the Motherfucking Lost, first of all. So let's hit it with the tangents.
This is going to be a tangent-heavy episode up front.
Right now. I would like to admit...
We have not even announced what fucking movie we're covering.
Nobody gives a shit, Steven. I guarantee you no one gives a fuck.
2009 Land of the Lost with Will Ferrell. There, we've done it. Tangent. Let's go.
Yeehaw. Anyway... you guys, and this is weird because I've noticed I'm in the minority here, but I'm a stand-up wiper. I stand up to wipe my butt, you guys.
That's fucking weird.
That's not weird because then I can get a good look at my business and see if I'm healthy.
Look, I had to do that when I broke my foot because I couldn't situate it properly, so I had to stand up to it sucks. It's terrible. How do you do it?
How do you do it sitting down? I don't understand.
Episode of Disenfranchised ever. I don't think we've ever gotten this personal on this podcast before. This is insane.
Let us know in the comments. Are you one of the fabled stand-up wipers? Let us know. We'll talk about it. Patreon.com/disenfranchpod.
Brett, I feel like we're recording a podcast with a unicorn.
With a unicorn? Is that what you said?
Yes.
Maybe.
It wouldn't be the first time someone called me a unicorn, but I do appreciate it.
That doesn't surprise me.
Here is what Matt Singer at Screen Crush has to say about the
stand-up wiping.
No, about the fucking How to Train Your Dragon Whopper. It does feel like this Whopper was a missed opportunity flavor-wise. They can call it Dragon Flame Grilled all they want. We know they don't have Toothless shackled to a flat top breathing on ground beef back in the kitchen. Sure, you could say the bacon adds a smoky element to the burger, and where there is smoke, there are often dragons. Still, given that theme, a spicy Whopper of some sort would make a lot more sense. Blank Check co-host Griffin Newman, who joined me for the meal, astutely noted that I do. They're great. Astutely noted that Burger King recently offered an Angry Whopper with, quote, spicy angry sauce. They could have trotted that back out, slapped on a marbled bun on top, and called it a day. So
yeah, and I'm really surprised.
Not spicy.
I'm really surprised they didn't because the mozzarella sticks are spicy, and they do that for promotion. So if it's dragon and fire, and the mozzarella sticks are spicy, which I had those once and they were good one time. I don't plan on ever having them again because the spicy flavor. It's not too spicy. It's just the spicy flavor is too much. It's too much of it. They need to dial it down just a tiny bit.
It tastes like you're eating a hot Cheeto.
I was going to say, it tastes more like a potato chip flavor that was overdone.
It's definitely. It like you could tell me that these were breaded in hot Cheeto dust, and I would believe you.
Ooh, spicy nacho Doritos, what? No. That's where it's at. You guys.
Man. Bring back the volcano menu, Taco Bell, you cowards.
Cowards. Fucking cowards.
God, the fucking volcano cheesy gordita crunch was. I would ascend every time I ate it.
I'm just pissed they removed the Mexamelt from the menu. Quite frankly,
I never had that.
It's
they still have it in some places. It is still the Taco Bell by me carries it.
Did I ever tell you guys? Have we ever discussed the fabled Mexican cheesesteak? We ever talked about this?
Yes,
not on mic.
No, we have. I don't think you were on that episode, but yes, we absolutely have.
It's real. Oh yeah, because I sent you guys a picture. This was very recently, actually.
Last recording. Last recording, you told us all about it.
So weird. Test market, best thing they ever had. Pregnancy food. That was the notes to what I said last time.
Anyway,
real quick.
Please go on, Brett. Please.
Sorry, I just
fucking please.
No, you know what? Never mind. We'll come back.
Oh, come on!
No, that's fine. I don't want to derail this any more than we already have.
We're 10 minutes in, and we barely scratched the surface of.
I'll derail it again later. Let's.
Look, of that I have no doubt, Brett.
We'll put a pin in it. It'll be fine.
Between the three of us, we'll figure out tangents. Don't even fucking worry about it.
You know, you guys, speaking of this movie, I'm trying to get it back on track here, but a wise man once said, and that wise man was Fred Durst, who could be the boss? Look up at the cross, stranded in the land of the lost. Do you think he's talking about this movie? No, because it hadn't come out yet.
He was talking about a TV show, which was huge in the zeitgeist and pop culture of its time.
Right.
Absolutely.
So, we're covering this because there's a new fucking Jurassic World movie.
On both accounts, this movie and that.
You haven't even seen it, Tucker. Fuck off.
I've seen the previous 3 Jurassic Worlds, and let me tell you, I wasn't impressed. But
Tucker, there's no Chris Pratt in this one.
No.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's why you can't judge this one yet, because it's A, not part of those last 3 movies. B, doesn't have Chris Pratt in it. And C, those movies are...
Tucker, we're not Raptors. The Chris Pratt hand thing doesn't work on us.
And look, you can't judge, because those 3 movies get progressively worse.
You guys, the when I watched the third one, because I did watch all 3 of them because I was invested, because the first one was all right. It was fine.
The third one, the first of the Jurassic World movies, is the 3rd best Jurassic Park movie.
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah, I could maybe make an argument that Jurassic Park 3 is better, but I'm not going to...
Jurassic Park 3 is the 2nd best Jurassic Park movie.
Oh.
I do not like The Lost World. I do not like The Lost World.
Well, then you can be and are wrong. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jack Black.
So, should we... You know what we should do? We should just kibosh Land of the Lost right now. We can all chime in and say, hey, it fucking sucked. There's no reason to watch it, even if you're a fan of Danny McBride, even if you're a fan of Will Ferrell, which the man has his moments. It just has to be the right context. Even if you're a fan of Yorma... Even if you're a fan of Yorma Tacome, which we all are.
Yorma, who is completely unrecognizable in this movie. I had to check the cast list 3 times to remember that he was playing Chaka in this movie.
I say, instead of talking about this movie, maybe, since we watched this movie because there's a new Jurassic World movie, maybe we do a top 5. What do we call that on the Patreon?
Disenfranchised?
Disenfranchised Jurassic movies, top 5. Everybody's top 5.
I've only seen 4, so I'm out.
Oh,
I did not watch the last 2 Jurassic World movies.
I mean, fair.
Fuck. That was such a good move. That was such a good idea, though.
It was a good idea.
It was a great idea.
We really could have brought this home, man. Like, made this something.
Well, look, I don't blame you, because for the longest time I didn't watch any of them because I'd heard they're bad.
Yeah.
And Chris Pratt is bad, and I just didn't want to bother. And but
I saw Jurassic World in the theater on my honeymoon.
Goddamn. Oh well, all right.
Wow.
And that was the last Jurassic movie I saw. So,
well, Steven, you didn't miss much, because can I tell you, one of the posters for the third one was just Chris Pratt, Sam Neill, and Jeff Goldblum all doing this.
God.
Yeah.
I'm so upset. I'm so fucking upset.
Look, let me tell you, it's like my partner is Jurassic Park is probably to her what Ghostbusters is to me, but not to that extent. She's not like it's maybe her favorite franchise, but she also hates all the Jurassic World movies.
I mean, I think a lot of Jurassic Park fans do.
But she was like, you should at least watch them. So I mean, and we sat down and watched them like 3 nights in a row. Watched all 3.
Right.
I couldn't make it through the third one, honestly. I couldn't.
I like the third one. The third one is a lot of fun.
The third Jurassic World.
Third Jurassic World. Fuck that.
Yeah. I like Jurassic Park 3, yes.
Did you
it's a good but I like it, yes.
Did you watch the extended cut of Dominion? Or just the
I watched whatever was on Prime when it was on Prime.
Okay.
I don't know if it was
they're both on Prime.
But this was my Land of the Lost, Brett. I got about half hour into it and I was like, no, this ain't for me, man.
I mean, as
Not even Sam Neill could save that motherfucker.
That's the thing. As someone who knows how deeply ingrained nostalgia is for me in the very core of my being, what got me through that movie was the 3 legacy characters.
That is the least surprising thing you could have possibly said.
And also the conceit. Like here's let me drop some Jurassic Park lore on you. The Dominion,
and again, Brett is the lore meister, so of course
Dominion actually canonizes. Tucker is probably familiar with the Telltale games, like Walking Dead and Wolf Among Us and Borderlands. They did a Jurassic Park game that hardly anybody remembers, but it's a thing. And
I may it now that you mention it.
Yeah. So the story centered around the main character getting sent back to Isla Nublar to try and retrieve the canister that Nedry dropped. Which was
Spielberg's idea for the sequel. Like Spielberg wanted to use that it was his sequel hook.
Oh.
And apparently Crichton was like, fuck you, I have other ideas.
Well, it's more that Crichton was, fuck you, I don't want to do it at all.
Yeah.
Really, yes.
He's like, you mean I gotta write a book too? You can't just give me credit for the characters? I'll take residuals, fuck. Damn.
This shit, man.
Come on, man.
He was a man of integrity. I'll give it to him.
That's right.
Look, one of my top 5 favorite authors.
Oh.
So, yeah. Crichton's great.
Also a director in his own right. He's directed some stuff.
Yeah. Sphere, the book, not the movie. My favorite Crichton book.
Congo. Brett loves Congo. That's Michael Crichton. 13th Warrior. Brett loves that
Congo.
one.
Yeah, I do love Congo.
13th Warrior, which is Beowulf with Antonio Banderas.
What's the Paul Walker one Richard Donner directed? Timeline? It's called Timeline?
Holy shit, you pulled Timeline. Good God.
That's Michael Crichton. That's Michael Crichton. Westworld, Future World, which has straight up fucking
Yul Brynner.
Westworld. Well, they're in the dream sequence in Future World. He comes back.
I was going to say, he's in both.
Who's the main guy? Not Paul Newman. I'm thinking of Redford. Robert Redford is the main guy in Future World.
We love Bobby R.
We do. We straight up do. I don't know why I get those two mixed up. I think kind of the same era, sorta. I think Paul Newman's older than Robert Redford, but I kind of
they were Butch and Sundance.
That's true. Yes, that's probably what it is.
They did in The Sting. They did a lot of movies together.
I much prefer Paul Newman, but I do love Robert Redford.
I mean, we love Paul.
Like if I had to pick, but if I didn't have to pick, I'll just have them both.
Paul Newman was in a movie that filmed in my partner's hometown of Momence, Illinois.
Oh, word. Was it
a little movie called Road to Perdition?
Is it Cars? Okay.
No, fucking Road to Perdition, bitch.
Hey, I saw that. I saw it came out
once.
And then I read the graphic novel. I got it from the straight up library, and then
graphic novel's pretty good. Yeah, graphic novel's pretty
good. I think they're both good.
I think the graphic novel is better than the movie, but I was not a huge fan of the movie. I need to rewatch the movie.
Yeah, you should, because I don't think it's bad. I think it's at least worth your time.
I mean, yeah, that was Sam Mendes' follow up to American Beauty, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and what a follow up it was.
And what a follow up it was.
At least Road to Perdition holds up, Steven.
And I will say, a lot of my partner's mom lets me know whenever there's a new movie or television show filming in Momence, and apparently, a lot of period films and television shows filmed there, including I think Fargo season 4 and the upcoming season of the Ryan Murphy show Monsters, which the new season is about Ed Gein, and apparently quite a bit of it films in Momence. Filmed, I should say, in Momence. Yeah.
You guys, I can't wait to cover Disturbed. Speaking of Ed Gein, and I know I mentioned that recently on the pod as well. But I cannot wait to cover that.
Speaking of things we can't wait to cover, this week we're talking about Land of the Lost from 2009. Directed by
Dominion canonizes the video game. I didn't get to finish my thought at all.
More about non-Land of the Lost stuff. Go on, Brett.
I mean, look, if we're like,
I'm trying, listener.
Tangents on look, but okay, fine. Just fuck me, I guess. This forget what I was talking about completely.
Let
That's
Brett
okay.
finish.
Let's get
Let
back to the
him
movie.
finish.
How about?
Let him finish.
No, it's fine.
No, Brett.
Nobody wants to hear about Jurassic Park lore.
I
Clearly.
do.
So let's
I
get
do.
back to.
I don't want to give the Jurassic Park lore fans blue balls, Brett. So please finish.
Because I'm sure there's tons of them, dozens of us. But anyway, yeah. So that movie canonizes that video game because you can see the canister in the background, all dirty and shit. And if you just watch Jurassic Park and then watch Dominion, you're like, how the fuck did that happen? It's very clear that it gets covered in mud. How would anybody have been able to find it again? So they canonized the video game.
Is that game good though? Have you played it, Brett?
No, but it's a
Telltale
game.
games are they're hit or miss for me. It really depends. Like even with the Walking Dead games, like I really liked the first one, I guess, first game, episode, season, whatever. I really liked the first one. The second, they lost me in the second one, and I played the Batman one, and like I got about halfway through.
Oh, the Batman one is actively bad. Yeah, I didn't like what they did with Two-Face there.
The Back to the Future. I'm sorry, my mic just went quiet. The Back to the Future one sucked like so hard.
Well, the Back to the Future one was fun. You got the entire cast back.
It was cringe as fuck.
To do
it was
like a real sequel to Back to the Future.
Every second was not. There were no good ideas in this movie. There was just, what's the thing that we can do that's going to be the most fan service? And it was cringe as hell. I hated that. I love that you loved it, Brett. I do love that you loved it, and I love you and we're friends. But I fucking hated that. That was like the worst. That was like a slap on the motherfucking face to Bobby Z and Bobby G and everybody else involved.
Even though they had to sign off on it and approve it.
Yeah, well, dumb trucks and money and all that.
That's mostly Bob Gale's thing, though. Bob Gale is pretty much the guy in charge of the legacy of Back to the Future these days.
Boy, I tell you.
Bobby Z doesn't have much to do with it.
So that's why I'm like, fuck that Telltale Back to the Future game.
All right. I mean, look, that's your opinion. That's just like your opinion, man.
That's what I've heard. Yeah.
Nice.
Absolutely. Good job, you guys. We've been here the whole time.
Look, I got an hour before this edible kicks in. Let's do this thing.
Oh, I don't want to be here for that long, Steven. Talk about this movie. Unless we get some really good tangents, I am not planning on being here for more than like another half an hour, Steven.
I could get a nap in. Sounds about good right about now. So
hey, that's what I did while I was watching this movie. Because number one, I didn't care. Number two, I was really comfy.
So let me ask this. Just so we can put on some kind of pretense for this episode. Yeah. Just so that the 5 people who are clicking on this episode because they love the 2009 Will Ferrell Land of the Lost film have something to hold on to.
Oh, we're going to talk about the cast and the director and shit? Let's do that.
Well, it was directed, as I tried to mention earlier, by Brad Silberling.
We got there. It's okay,
and it stars Will Ferrell, Anna Friel, Danny McBride, Yorma Taccone, John Boylan, Matt Lauer, Ben Best, and is that the voice of, yes it is, Leonard Nimoy in this movie for like 10 seconds, not even 10 minutes, 10 seconds. Yeah. Also, I looked deep in the credits and there's like a young Kiernan Shipka from like Mad Men and Sabrina is like one of the kids in the classroom, uncredited. There's someone else in this who's the other person in this movie is like someone who is actually Paul Adelstein is the voice of the astronaut at the beginning of the movie. Yeah. From a number of things.
That might have been the best part of this movie was that cold open. Everything after that just sucked. And the cold open wasn't good. It just didn't suck. It was just there, and you're like, okay, we could go somewhere from here. Cool.
That's the bar we're setting for this movie, folks.
Yeah.
I mean, the dialogue is immediately bad. Like, he's like, I'm in some kind of rift in time and space. How the fuck do you know that? Like, That's the most ridiculous line of dialogue.
Also,
guy.
Bobby J. Thompson, the kid from Role Models, is in this movie as the kid asking if dinosaurs have boobs.
Oh yeah,
So
that's cool.
yeah, if
Everybody
you like
likes
the
that.
David Wayne film Role Models,
I
there's
do.
someone for you. And also Sex Pest Matt Lauer. But again, in the interest of pretense, what are you guys at all familiar with the Land of the Lost as a property? And if so, what is your familiarity with that property?
I will start by saying that I was aware of the original show. I had never seen it. There was a reboot / remake series in the early 90s. I believe it was on USA. I could be wrong. At least they showed reruns on USA.
I was going to say, I think it
And
was original run on ABC, but then went to like syndication on USA or something.
I did see a little bit of that. Outside of that, I always thought the concept was cool, but it just didn't interest me enough to watch it. And even though when this movie came out, I was a fan of at least 3 people in it because I don't always like what Will Ferrell does. Notorious elf hater here. Who fucking likes that movie? What's the big draw in that movie? I don't fucking get it. I don't get it.
Listen to our previous episode on Elf where Brett and I
have. Yes.
espouse our praise for that film.
But I'm saying I'm not above hating a Will Ferrell movie, but I do, at my core, enjoy Will Ferrell in the right context. I think he's a very talented dude. He does some good shit. He knows what he's doing sometimes. I feel like he has to be sort of led to the water, the best water to drink from, I guess. His work on SNL was really good, and I really think that's the kind of stuff he shines in. Stuff like Talladega Nights, I thought was really good. The first Anchorman, I think he's really good in that. But when this came out, even with him and Danny McBride and Yorm from Lonely Island, I was just like, yeah, I think this is going to suck, and I don't want to waste my time on it.
It can and does suck.
Brett, what do you got?
Well, I was going to say, because you probably listen to the Lonely Island and Seth Meyers podcast.
I do. I am up to date currently.
Yeah, they did briefly. They have gotten to that point in the SNL timeline where they were giving Yorm shit about working on Land of the Lost.
Yes, but
like which is the correct thing.
Yeah.
Yes, agreed. Yes.
But my familiarity is non-existent, really. I think because like I don't know if my dad watched it. Usually, my dad is like, this feels like it might have been a show he watched, but he was not as into it.
I was going to say, I feel like your dad is kind of the arbiter of cultural tastes for you in a lot of ways.
Very much, yeah. I mean, in so much that he showed me a lot of things that he liked. Not necessarily things that he was like super into.
Mm-hmm.
He was, because like I don't think he was super into Ghostbusters, but he was like, "This is a good movie. You should watch it." Same with the Romero films, because as we've gotten older, he doesn't. I've given him shit for years now that like, you got me into zombie movies, my guy. Why do you not like them anymore? Like, it doesn't track.
If I could argue for your father, Brett, it's because out of every 100 zombie movies that come out nowadays, none of them are good.
I present Train to Busan for your consideration.
No, I agree. Every once in a while there's a good one, but the oversaturation doesn't make it any easier. Ever since 28 Days Later hit, ever since the Dawn of the Dead remake hit, it's just been oversaturation for the last 25 fucking years, dude. 20 years. And
the oversaturation has kind of died down.
There's good stuff there, but it's hard for me to care because like everything's fucking zombies. Like, way to like take something I love and run it into the fucking ground, everybody. Thank you for ruining that for me.
You can blame The Walking Dead on that. That's,
right.
Look, but no, hardly anybody cares anymore because a lot of people agree with you. Like, the oversaturation got too real.
Right.
So that's why it's not oversaturated
Fuck a
anymore.
duck.
Because like outside of 28 years later, like when's the last zombie movie that just came out?
Well,
Like, I can't remember the last one that came out before this.
Lisa Frankenstein? That counts, right?
That's not a
That's a
zombie movie.
Frankenstein
That's a
movie.
Frankenstein
Guys,
movie.
You guys, I like that movie so much.
It
Why didn't
was
people like that
fun.
movie?
It
It's
was
so good.
very
Why didn't
good.
people like it?
It was fun.
Like, the most praise it gets is mediocre. And no, dude, I want a 4K. I'm probably going to get her little hand lightning bolt tattoo because it looked so cool.
That, again, a very Tucker thing.
Golly, that was such a good movie, you guys. Wow. I want to watch it again.
I actually did not know there was a 70s show called Land of the Lost. I grew up on the early 90s one starring star of the film The Last Picture Show, Timothy Bottoms,
Dude,
the 1991
Tim
Land
Betts.
of the Lost. There's a tunnel we found deep underground, living in the land of the lost. Which this movie has nothing to do with the 90s one. It has, in fact, everything
has anything to do with the original either.
I mean, the characters have the same names, and they make a lot of references to it, like he's the routine expedition, the fact that he starts singing the song that he's writing on the banjo is the theme song from the 70s version of the show. Like it has more to do with the 70s version than the 90s version. For sure.
Marshall Willenholly from Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
Will Ferrell's character's name in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back was a joke based on the original Land of the Lost, and then he stars in the film version of Land of the Lost. Coincidence? Absolutely.
Which to call back how bad this dialogue is, I'm not, like I just said, I wasn't familiar with the 70s version.
Sure.
But they shoehorned in the term routine expedition so hard and so many times.
Yeah.
Like, that must be a reference.
Yep.
I agree. I felt the same way, Brett. And may I add, another Will Ferrell role that I enjoy is Marshall Willenholly in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. It's almost too much. It tap dances on that line. No, it tap dances a few times.
No, it's too much for me. There are two Will Ferrell movies I enjoy. Two that I enjoy. Elf, which we've covered on this podcast, and Anchorman, a movie we will never cover on this podcast.
No.
Because it got a sequel.
It got a sequel before it got a sequel.
And it was bad. It actually it did have that direct to DVD movie Good Morning San Diego, which was basically
Wake Up Ron Burgundy. It's what it's called.
That's what it was. And it was literally just full of cut scenes from the original movie because they filmed so much shit.
It's Anchorman The Missing Pieces.
It is. That's
Steven.
Yes,
that's what it is.
That's exactly what it is. A joke for all
it's
the
pretty
Twin Peaks fans out there.
It's okay. Like I'll watch them both. They're both about as good as one another. Kind of an alternate version, like alternate universe version of the movie.
Is it better than Anchorman 2, The Legend Continues?
Yes.
I feel like it would almost have to be.
Yes.
And I'll add 3 movies to your list, Steven, or 1 movie to your list. Make it 3. Talladega Nights, I thought it was
which I'm not a fan of, but
come on, you didn't see Stranger Than Fiction? Come on.
I did see that in theaters. I didn't like it.
I didn't like it.
Good. I didn't like it. It's not my thing.
I thought it was good.
I also saw Melinda in Melinda.
What is that?
The fucking Woody Allen movie he was in.
Oh yeah, I don't watch that shit.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
I don't fuck with Woody Allen.
It is one of the few Woody Allen movies I have seen.
I'm sorry, Brett. Can we not talk over Brett for a second? That sounded very interesting. What did you say, Brett? You said what now? Can you go with that again? I could isolate the audio. We could find out whether you tell us or not. Like, I'm just saying.
No, I'm fine saying it. I'm happy I slipped it in and neither one of you heard it.
Nope, I heard it. That's why we talking about it, dude. That's why we're talking about it.
I didn't watch the porn version. Melinda in Melinda? That sounds like a fantastic porn film.
Melinda in Melinda? I see where your head's at, and I like it. Quite frankly, I like it.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Wow, what a blue episode, you guys. It's a disenfranchised podcast nights.
talking about ass wiping and porn versions of Woody Allen movies.
This is a late night version, you guys.
Good God, I'm amazed. Look, this is the episode we get fucking canceled. But no, this movie is indicative of everything I don't like about Will Ferrell's sense of humor.
Agreed.
I agree.
Like it's leaning into the super awkward, and it's so miscalibrated. Like it's not. There's no consistent wavelength to his comedic tone in this movie, and it's really fucking annoying to me.
The worst part about it is that he's not even trying to play a character.
No.
He's not. There's no character there.
No.
It's just a guy trying to do jokes.
And here's the thing.
I don't believe any of it. I don't believe 1 second of his performance. And even in a comedy, that's fucking important.
Yes. Tucker, this is not the here's a confession for you. This is a real Steven confession right now.
Yes, Usher.
These are my confessions. This is not the first time I've seen this fucking movie.
Oh,
because
wow.
Tucker, for 7 years of my life, I was married to a woman who owned this movie on DVD.
My God. Steven.
It's true. It's true. She was a Will Ferrell fan, which is why we saw Anchorman 2 in theaters.
I did too.
Yeah, I mean, I liked the first one. I thought the second one might be good.
That's why I saw it in the theater, because I was like, how do you fuck up Anchorman? Was my question.
I saw the first Anchorman in theaters too, and you know what? I had a great time.
Anchorman 2, yes.
Second Anchorman? No. Did not have a good time.
And it's so disappointing because you see all that money up there, and they have some what should have been fantastic fucking cameos, and you're just like, how do you just whiff it? Like, you're not even close to the ball when you're swinging. No one's even pitched the motherfucker. You're just swinging it air.
I was going to say, there's like no effort put in whatsoever. It's just like, we did the thing, right? You guys liked that we did the thing.
Like, no effort.
None whatsoever. It was just like, we're coasting on the goodwill from the first movie. Like, people have been asking for a sequel, so we'll give you one, and you'll like it, right? Not if you fucking don't try, motherfucker.
No.
Like, good God. Speaking of, Adam McKay was originally slated to direct this movie, and he's apparently
a producer on it.
Wisely backed out. He did stay on as a producer, but yeah, he did not end up directing it, which may be one of the smarter career moves he's ever made.
Who did direct it, Steven? Tell us about their career up to and after this point.
Yes, his name is Brad Silberling, and he's directed about 7 movies in his career, the first of which was a little movie from 1995 that you may have heard of called Casper.
People love that movie. Devon Sawa. You've got Ray Stantz in there. Brett.
Yeah. Brett.
Ghostbuster Cannon. Brett. Casper's Ghostbuster Cannon. Brett.
Brett.
Fucking Brett.
Brett.
Bill Pullman, Christina Ricci. Come on, that CGI looked pretty good for a kids movie.
Somebody else. You got fucking Father Guido Sarducci in there. You got Clint Eastwood. You've got Rodney Dangerfield in that movie.
It's so good.
The voice of too. Brad Garrett's like,
holds up.
I've read books about it. I've watched videos. I've seen people do it.
A piece of crumb cake. He also directed the Nicolas Cage Meg Ryan film called City of Angels, the movie that gave us the Goo Goo Dolls song Iris. I would give up forever to touch you, as it were. He directed a little movie called The Moonlight Mile, which I know nothing about. Apparently, it's got Dustin Hoffman in it. Shrug. And then he directed future episode of this podcast, A Series of Unfortunate Events with Jim Carrey.
Oh, people liked that.
Apparently,
it came out, but there was no sequel. That's why we're covering it.
That's why it's on the list.
Holy shit!
They got a remake TV series on Netflix.
That's true. With NPH. I heard that's pretty good, but I just have no interest in it.
No interest whatsoever. The cast looks great. I don't care though. You cannot make me care.
That's where I'm at.
He directed a movie called 10 Items or Less, which apparently has people like Morgan Freeman and Paz Vega, Jonah Hill.
Is it a movie about checkout lanes at the grocery store?
It apparently the plot synopsis is an actor prepping for an upcoming role meets a quirky grocery clerk, and together they hit the road to show each other their respective worlds. Sounds like shit.
Boy. Yeah. Sounds like leftovers from like the 90s indie movie boom. But the ones we were getting towards the end of it that sucked.
Right, that sucked, yeah. And then in a few years after that, he does this movie, Land of the Lost. He follows that up with a lot of TV show directing appearances. And then in 2017, he does a little movie called An Ordinary Man. And to date, that is the last theatrically released film that he has made.
Cool. What shows did he work on?
He worked a bunch. He worked on...
but what shows did I like that he worked on?
None.
Oh, okay.
No, he worked on. Let me see. He's done Jane the Virgin. What else has he got? Judging Amy, Felicity, NYPD Blue, L.A. Law, Doogie Howser, M.D. Alfred Hitchcock Presents.
Did he ever direct an episode of Homicide: Life on the Street, Steven?
No, he did not.
Okay, well then I'm not interested.
Charmed. Something called Dash and Lily. He even directed an episode of the new Matlock series starring the great Kathy Bates.
Wow, all things that I either am not familiar with or don't give a fuck about. Though my ex-roommate really enjoys that new Matlock.
I've heard. Look, Kathy Bates.
She keeps telling me, "Look at that new Matlock." That I need to look at it, so I might have to look at it. It's on my list.
Can we go wrong with Kathy Bates? That's what I'm asking. Like,
Bad
I
Santa
love
2.
Bates.
Bad Santa 2. So yes, you can, but it's very difficult to. She's a fantastic actor. It's just you asked, can we go? And yes, we can, because I've seen Bad Santa 2, even though I refuse to acknowledge its existence.
I was going to say, I'm kind of surprised that you're the one bringing that up, because I feel like you've advocated to have Bad Santa as an episode of the podcast, and I've told you repeatedly we can't. That and Undercover Brother are things we cannot cover on this podcast because they got sequels that you refuse to acknowledge.
Yes, but that's just me being silly. I can't not mention it if you say you can't go wrong with Kathy Bates.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Hey, Tucker.
Hey, what?
Let's talk about our boy Danny McBride.
Let me look at my list here, Steven. Are we transitioning to a What Are We Watching episode?
Nope. We're talking.
I watched this. Oh, shit.
We're talking about our boy Danny McBride, creator of one of my favorite television shows of the last 5 years, The Righteous Gemstones.
Yes, indeed.
A stone cold fucking masterpiece from beginning to end. Cannot recommend that show enough.
First scene in the film, The Foot Fist Way.
So leading up to this movie, he's had a couple of really great years. 2007, he has Hot Rod, Superbad, and The Heartbreak Kid. Pretty great run. 2008, he has Drill Bit Taylor, Pineapple Express, okay.
Yes.
Future episode of this podcast, Pineapple Express.
I can't wait. That's
coming.
A sweet movie.
And then Tropic Thunder, one of my favorite, if not my favorite, Ben Stiller movie.
He's underused in that film, but when he is there, he's to the level that everybody else is.
He's kind of playing a similar character in this movie that he is in Tropic Thunder, honestly.
Dude,
like if you told me his character in this movie and his character in Tropic Thunder were brothers, I would believe you.
And Rico from Hot Rod was like their little cousin.
Yes.
Or like little nephew, you know?
See our previous episode on Hot Rod with our buddy Noah East, who is coming back later this month if we can get the schedule to work out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for the Straight Up coming at the end of this month.
Well, I'll allow it. But Brett, you also have to be there because this movie is important. It means something. No, no.
I make no promises, Tucker.
No,
do or do not. There is no try.
That's not good enough, Brett. That's not good enough. If you don't... let me type this down because I'm going to say the name of the word. or the name of the word, the
I'm
name of the movie. Look,
I'm just have to
Brett,
quit. I'm just have
if
to
you
quit.
don't watch with us and then subsequently talk about it, you're fucking fired. And that's all there is
You
to
can't
it.
fire me, Tucker. I quit.
Oh
Here's
no!
here's the thing, Tucker. As much as you've been a staple here for the last few years, Brett is an OG. You don't
That's
have
true.
the authority to fire Brett.
I'm grandfathered in.
The only person who has the authority to fire Brett is me, and I'm never going to do
Is
it.
Brett
So-
himself and the Lord God.
And while we're here, and while you've got your editing equipment open, Tucker, may I just
Yes.
say, for the record,
Don't say you motherfucker.
and
Oh, bringing it back. I like that, Steven. I do appreciate
Spicy.
that. I will be happy to edit that out.
Spicy.
For sure. And you know what? That could have been so much worse. And I'll tell you how it could have been worse after the recording because I don't want to give you ideas on how to fuck me on the edit.
well, don't worry, we'll fuck you on the next one.
Yay!
2009, the year this movie comes out, honestly, another great year for Danny McBride. Fanboys as an uncredited appearance, Observe and Report, this movie, not so great, but then the Oscar-nominated film Up in the Air. So, like, Danny McBride, kind of a great build to this moment, but then this is kind of the era where, like, no one knows what to do with him because the next year he's got a voice role in Despicable Me and then a movie in the Todd Phillips movie Due Date, which is the Todd Phillips movie no one remembers.
I don't even know what the fuck that is.
That's the one where Robert Downey Jr. and Zach Galifianakis are like in a...
Oh, and they have the baby and they're road
Yes.
tripping, and yeah,
Correct.
I saw that, and I remember like it not being a waste of time, like it was funny, but I don't remember anything about it, and I have no desire to ever watch it again.
In 2011, it's Your Highness, that like very misbegotten like lead that he did.
And that was like the spiritual sequel to Pineapple Express, so we were all very fucking disappointed.
We all were very disappointed. Then we have Kung Fu Panda the same year and 30 Minutes or Less. In 2013, As I Lay Dying, This Is the End, which I think he is very funny, and that is one of my partner's favorite movies, and he is very funny in that. I call him Channing Tate Yum.
Okay. Yeah. I forgot what I was gonna. Oh yeah. So I just wanted to mention really quickly, while you said it, 30 Minutes or Less. I used to really, really like that movie until I found out the story behind it, and it's kind of fucked up. And I recommend you at least check out the Wikipedia page on that because that it's kind of based on a true story, and the true story is really fucked up, and they're kind of fucked up for making the movie.
Fair enough.
So, yeah. It was real good till I learned that, though. So if you really like that movie, don't look into it.
But I think like Eastbound and Down from 2009 to 2013.
Fuck yes.
Like Danny McBride kind of starts to find his footing on television. And then I feel like his big, like he's in Alien Covenant, which again is a thing I find really wild.
He co-wrote that. He co-wrote it.
And that's another thing he does. Like he co-writes a lot of movies with David Gordon Green. Like he co-wrote the Halloween,
the first two,
sequels.
I believe.
Yeah, the David Gordon Green did. But then he does Vice Principals, which is a show that Tucker, you and I both love.
GOAT of Danny McBride shows, the GOAT.
And I feel like
them are fantastic.
He doesn't really find his footing in film so much as he really gets it into TV. Like between Eastbound and Down, Vice Principals, and Righteous Gemstones, that's just a 1-2-3 punch that really just propels him. And I feel like that man could just make TV forever and be golden.
HBO and Danny McBride,
yes.
They are a match made in fucking heaven, dude. Like they work well together. So Danny McBride, just keep making shows for HBO. Or you know what? If you want to make a movie in between a show, I'd see a movie. I'd
make
watch
a Righteous Gemstones movie, Danny McBride.
It's too soon. We need to let it simmer for a bit, and so that
Brett,
it feels like it's coming back.
I know you were watching Righteous Gemstones. Have you finished Righteous Gemstones?
I have not yet. No.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
I look forward to your thoughts when you finish that show.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Because Tucker and I both finished it, and we had a pretty deep conversation about it on What Are We Watching a couple weeks ago.
Really did. That's true.
Yeah.
That I still have not edited or released because I lost the editing notes on it, so I'm gonna have to listen to the whole thing. And the thing is I said something, and I remember when I was saying it, I was like, "Oh fuck, that sounds racist." And I don't remember when it was. And it wasn't meant to be, but just like the words that I chose were the wrong words, and I instantly, as I was saying it, I was like, "Nope, nope, nope." Oh, fuck, it's too late. I said it wrong. Shit. So I have to listen to the whole episode, and it's like 2 hours and 15 minutes. So I just haven't had time to do it. But it's coming. Patrons, patreon.com/disenfranchisepod. Like, patrons, it's coming. It'll get there. It's just I have to have the time. I have to, like, crawl out of my job hunting anxiety and do some podcast work. That's all.
Now,
no big whoop.
Tucker, you're a big fan of Jorma Taccone, and he is in this movie.
Yes.
Again, had to check the cast list multiple times to recognize that he is the guy playing Chaka in this movie. Another
great character and performance from Hot Rod, not unlike Danny McBride, who we were just talking about. Both these MFs in Hot Rod.
Mm-hmm.
But the Chaka character in this, I get what he was going for, but there was nobody else was being funny. And what he was doing would have only been funny if there was humor surrounding it to support it. It needed a foundation of humor.
His entire character
to even come close to working
was just aggressive horniness, really.
Yes.
When you get right down to it, it was just an aggressively horny character. And in isolation, that's not great.
I feel like this is one of the last sexual assault is funny movies, really.
I mean, I wish that were true. I don't think it is, but like, yeah, there's a whole like gag surrounding the fact that he's, grabbing Holly's tits and calling her Holly, and then waking up like sleeping with his hand resting on Holly's tits. Like, Anna Friel is sexualized to just an inordinate degree in this movie.
Indeed. I was just thinking about how the only reason I know the names of these characters is because of Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back. It's the only reason I know any of the names of these characters. Because when you were saying that, I was like, oh, you're talking about Holly?
And I didn't Marshall, Will, and Holly, yes.
I don't know that because I watched this movie, because without the knowledge I already had, I would have not known what anybody's name was in this movie except for Chaka.
I feel like they just start calling Will without him ever introducing himself to them.
There's a lot of things in this movie, which is something I thought was kind of dumb, that you're just you're expected to know, or like it's supposed to be implied, but like none of the characters, I don't know who any of them are. Mm-hmm. I couldn't tell you, like I said, without Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back, I don't know any of the names of any of the characters in this movie. I could barely tell you their motivations, and none of them have personalities beyond stereotypes and buffoons.
No.
And there's a place for that in moderation, but you can't have your whole movie be that.
It's aggressively disappointing. Just aggressively disappointing.
Agreed.
Anna Friel, a British actress. Her first two known fors on IMDb are this movie, Land of the Lost, and the aforementioned in this episode, Paul Walker, Richard Donner film, Timeline. Written by Michael Crichton.
Crazy coincidence.
It all comes together.
Are we going to do Timeline? Is Timeline on our list?
Was Timeline supposed to get a sequel? I don't know.
Can we do it? Can we do a Michael Crichton month?
Sequels.
That's why we should do a Michael Crichton month.
So, like, no,
I'll
I
look
mean,
into it.
he notoriously hated
Yes.
sequels, which means none of them ever were intended to have them.
Right. Yeah.
Even Future World and the Westworld TV series. But not the HBO one, the one from the 80s. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you guys, was it just me, or is Westworld another one of those amazing first seasons and then who gives a fuck? Weren't we talking about that last week? I feel like we were talking about that last week. With The Following, because Steven mentioned The Following.
Oh yeah.
Fantastic first season, and then oh my
not
god.
not even
who
first
cares?
season. Fantastic first 2 episodes, and then who the fuck cares?
Who cares? Yeah.
Who the fuck
And
cares?
that's what's his nuts' brother? Christopher Nolan's brother.
Jonathan Nolan, yeah.
Yes.
Who co-wrote a lot of his movies, including Memento and The Dark Knight.
And for that first season to just
Batman
be so
Begins,
good. It almost reminded me of, it was such a U-turn in quality. The only shows that I know that have taken that big of a U-turn would be something like Wayward Pines.
Oh. I didn't even bother with the second season of Wayward Pines. They lost me about halfway through the first season on Wayward Pines.
Man. And the other one I forget, but yeah, bad. Like such a Made for Love. That one was, the first season was a perfect season of television, and it was interesting and it was high concept and everything was fantastic about it. And then the second season just immediately shit the bed from the first episode. And then they canceled it. I can't believe it. Can't fucking believe it.
Don't even know what the fuck that is.
You should watch it. It's on. Watch the first season on HBO and then pretend the second season doesn't exist. It's really good. Ray Romano, Kristen Milanadi, and the guy from that other movie I like, where he also plays an asshole. The guy who plays the handsome in the first Purge movie, he's the handsome blonde rich kid that was in all of the advertisements for the first Purge movie. Nobody was.
I mean, I know.
I've seen the first Purge movie.
Yeah,
I know who you're talking about.
I was on I was on the Pod and the Pendulum episode for that movie.
Oh, well, I never. Make sure to link that in the description, Steven.
That was one of those where I posited an alternate ending that friend of the show, past and future guest Devon Taylor, thought was incredible. Which is that after they survive the purge, they eat the cookies that the neighbors brought over at the beginning of the movie, and they all die because the cookies were poisoned. That was my pitch for an alternate ending for the purge.
That's fantastic, and I'm way into it. But I have to say, as much as I love that franchise, I'm kind of glad they stopped with the last one, because that last one was like really upsetting. And like,
I think it was caught the first 3.
It was upsetting a few years ago, and what's going on now, because it has to do a lot with people from Mexico and illegal immigrants and white supremacists being against immigration and all this. And it was fucking terrifying when it came out however many years ago. It's got to be even scarier now. That movie... It's not a great movie. It's a good movie, but it's very upsetting just because it's like, this is, I know this is a silly, scary movie, and it is still, the violence is very comic booky and everything. Like, it's not disturbing, but it's upsetting because you're like, this is a silly movie, but this is kind of real. Like, this is there are people who would do this, right? Who have done this. Like, this is fucked up. So watch that last Final Destination. I don't remember what it's called, but the most recent one.
Speaking of like the way people behave in real life, Land of the Lost.
What was that transition?
I don't know. Just throwing shit against the wall, see what sticks.
I mean, we touched on all the major points, really, haven't we? Like directors, actors.
Let's talk about the sequel hook in the mid-credits film of this movie.
There was a mid-credits thing? I didn't see it.
The Sleestack egg hatching in the coffee cup on the set of the Today Show.
I did see that. Yeah.
Yeah, that is
But
clearly our sequel hook for the movie. But again, who fucking gives a shit? Did this movie deserve a sequel? No. And I feel like the box office bore that out. In fact, speaking of the box office, let's just fucking get into it.
Yes, please.
This movie opens at number 3 on Friday, June 5th, 2009, on a budget of $100 million. It makes a total of 49.4 domestic, an additional 20 international, for a total of $69.5 million worldwide. Not really enough to warrant any kind of sequel. It hemorrhaged money. In fact, the head of Universal Studios called this movie basically a piece of crap, and said, "I don't know what happened there."
See, what's shocking to me is the fact that like they seem to shoot most of it on a soundstage and do CG for a lot of the background.
Oh yeah, it's obvious.
Why could you wouldn't it have been cheaper theoretically to just shoot on location in a desert somewhere?
And you can tell there are some scenes where they did that. Like the scene where they're driving down the road to get to the amusement park that Danny McBride owns at the beginning of the movie. That is clearly the desert from Seven. See our previous episode on the movie Seven.
It actually is, though.
It is.
It really is.
It absolutely is.
In real life, it is the same road.
Right. No, it is 100% the same exact road. And there are scenes in the desert where you can tell they're filming in the Mojave Desert. But it's, again, there are also so many scenes where you can obviously tell that it's a green screen and they're reacting to nothing. So, and I mean, the Sleestacks are actually suits, so I give them a lot of credit for that.
But they have CGI mouths. How does the two mouths work? Explain that to me. You can't.
The visual effects are shit. Speaking of Todd Phillips, the number 1 movie in America the weekend this movie comes out is a little film called
Lazy T-Rex.
The Hangover, which opens to $44.9 million. In second place in its second weekend is a little movie I saw in theaters, Pixar's Up. Not a great movie for someone who's afraid of heights. I should just say that.
Still haven't seen it.
The first 10 minutes are devastating. They will wreck your shit, Tucker. And if they don't wreck your shit, I doubt you're human.
I am into heights, though.
This movie opens at number 3. Land of the Lost comes in at number 3. In fourth place, down from number 2 the week before, in its third weekend, Night at the Museum 2, Night at the Museum 3.
Or 4.
Battle of it's the second one. Sorry, Battle of the Smithsonian. The Louvre is the third one.
I guess.
Night at the Museum 2, Battle of the Smithsonian.
Knows that.
My ex was a huge fan of the franchise. I saw all 3. In fifth,
poor bastard. How could you have ever married someone with such poor film taste?
It was a constant struggle. In fifth place, holding steady at number 5 for its 5th week, is the J.J. Abrams Star Trek film called Star Trek.
I liked that one.
It's good. It's good. It's not as good as Star Trek Beyond, and it's better than Star Trek Into Darkness.
And I think it's clever. I really thought at the time, of course, it's been outdone since then, but I thought it was really clever how they worked it into the original timeline, where it was kind of like and they had OG Spock there. I thought that was really clever.
You mean they worked it into the original timeline in that they completely circumvented the original timeline? Yes.
Yeah, by making it like an alternate thingy. And with old Spock there, he's like, yeah, in my universe, it's a little bit different, so I guess that's the kind of thing we're doing in these movies now.
In 6th place, future episode of this podcast, Terminator Salvation.
That's the one I like. I like that one a lot.
Yes.
Christian Bale. And speaking of Star Trek, the kid what played Chekhov that he got squished by his car in his own driveway. That poor kid.
Anton Yelchin, yes.
Poor guy. I liked him. He was good in Fright Night as well.
Yes, and he's one of the very few good parts of one of the last Joe Dante movies, Burying the Ex.
Oh, we talking about Jadante again, Steven?
I love Jadante. You know I love
Me
Jadante.
too. We love it.
In seventh place, a great film, Sam Raimi's Drag Me to Hell.
Yeah, I like that one. I wouldn't say it's great, but I like it. It's pretty good.
It's fucking
Pretty fucking
fun,
good.
is what it is.
Good, yeah.
In eighth place, Angels and Demons, less good. In ninth place, something called My Life in Ruins, a movie with Richard Dreyfuss, Rachel Dratch, Rita Wilson, and Nia Vardalos.
I'm actually kind of interested in that because of that cast.
I don't know what the fuck that is.
Richard Dreyfuss and Rachel Dratch? Yes?
Yes. And
it's like Peanut Butter and Miracle Whip. Like, that doesn't sound good, but I'll bet it slaps.
In 10th place, something called Dance Flick, which is it looks like a Damian Wayans film, starring Shoshana Bush and Damon Wayans.
There you go. Yeah.
Oh, it's probably a parody film.
Yeah,
dance movies.
It is written by Keenan Ivory, Sean, Marlon, Craig, and Damian Wayans.
Yeah,
and yes,
sometimes that works. Sometimes it doesn't.
Yes, and in this case, I imagine it doesn't. And in 11th place, I'm just throwing this out there because we've covered it before. Past episode of this podcast, X-Men Origins: Wolverine.
Well, you guys, maybe when we watched that, and like we were all like, "Man, we want to like this so bad," but fuck,
it's bad. And also at number 13, Tucker, I'm throwing this out here because it's one of your guys and mine. The Brothers Bloom, directed by Ryan Johnson.
Oh. Yes. My least watched Ryan Johnson movie, but always because I always forget about it because it's like the least high concept. Like,
yeah,
it's kind of, it's still really great, but it's just not, there isn't as much going on as there usually is in a Ryan Johnson movie.
Right. Understood.
Still real fucking good though. I still have it on Blu-ray. It's not like I don't own it, Steven. And on Vudu.
The tomatometer score for this film is a 26%. The critics' consensus, only loosely based on the original TV series Land of the Lost, is decidedly less kid-friendly and feels more like a series of inconsistent sketches than a cohesive adventure comedy.
It's a vehicle, baby. It's a vehicle. That's all it is.
Yeah, 100%. The Meta score is a 32 based on generally unfavorable reviews from 32 critics. Tucker, would you care to take a stab at what the current Letterboxd rating of Land of the Lost is?
It's between 2.5 and 2.9, Steven.
You nailed it right at the get-go. 2.5 is where it sits right now.
Ooh, I was confident in that.
Brett, you were very confident and right to be so. Brett, out of 5 stars, where are you putting Land of the Lost from 2009?
DNF.
Yeah. Did not finish.
No, still okay. I was like, Steven, do you not know what DNF stands for? Sorry.
Apparently not. The edible's starting to kick in, and I've had a few beers. So, yeah, sorry. My bad, gentlemen.
Did not finish. Yes, that's my
rating. You. Okay, Tucker, what about you?
Hi, it's me, Tucker. And I'm giving this movie 0 stars.
I'm giving it 1.5.
Explain.
No, you don't have to.
Nah, it's not the worst movie we've ever covered on this podcast.
The thing is like, here's the thing. I gave it 0 stars, and there's not one redeemable part about this movie, but you could put it on in the background, and it wouldn't annoy you if you're not paying attention to it. Because it's a movie. Like, it's a movie. The people making this movie have made movies before, and they make a movie.
Right. The elements that I like about this movie are the things that, like, it's like the design of the slee stacks and the execution of those characters. It's mostly character designs and execution more than it is plot and character. So I can't really give it like negative points or 0 stars because, again, it's not like it's fucking Food Fight. It's not like it's fucking Elektra or Catwoman. Like there's something here, but it's not. There's not a lot here, so that's why I'm not giving it more than like 1.5.
There was a crew, a movie, a comparable movie was made.
An attempt was made.
Yeah. We tried. Not that hard,
No,
but we tried.
an attempt was made.
Yeah.
We put our second best foot forward.
Yes. And because the movie stars Will Ferrell, it's
'Cause
pretty
there's only
clear that
two.
it was only our second best.
Because there's only 2 feet, you guys. That's the joke.
Friends,
It's funny if I explain it, right?
right?
Aha!
No,
Yes,
jokes are
yes.
notoriously funnier if you explain them. Brett, was
Yes,
that a
I
Jimmy
knew it.
Carr laugh? I heard.
No, that was more a shy Ronnie laugh.
Okay,
Aha!
it felt very Jimmy Carr to me, but yes, okay, fair enough.
Boner
and
alert!
friends, I think we did it. I think we finished our episode on the 2009 film Land of the Lost.
Yes, we
Aren't
did.
you glad we fucking covered this movie? Oh yeah, and by the way, there's a
No.
fucking T-Rex in this movie, and apparently
The
his brain
worst
is the
T-Rex.
size of a very large walnut. That's why we covered it this week, because the Jurassic World movie comes out and there's T-Rexes in both. Are you happy? I fucking hope so, because we're not.
Go watch the Jurassic World trilogy over this, please.
You know what? I own 2 of the 3 Jurassic World movies. They're back on that shelf there. I own them on Blu-ray. I stole them from my father. They have yet to be out of the plastic, but I'll fucking open that box set and watch them. I'm not above that.
You don't need to do that, Steven. No, dude.
You should at
Not
least
above-
watch them. You'll hate
not above
them.
it.
I know you'll hate them, but you should at least watch them.
I've seen the first 4 Jurassic Park movies, or the first 3 Jurassic Park movies and the first Jurassic World movie, and I'm okay with that. I don't feel a deep, abiding need to continue the franchise.
Ow. Yeah. Also, there's much better movies that you can
Right.
watch, and at our age, Steven, we don't got a lot of time left. You know.
That's true.
That's the reason I
True.
didn't finish this movie.
Exactly, Brett, and I
Right?
understand that. The only reason
And
I
you know
finished
what?
it because, like I said, it was easy to nap during.
I got Taco Bell to sustain me about 45 minutes into this movie, so that helped a lot.
Yeah,
I'm
but how
currently
long-
regretting my decision to go get BK instead of watching this movie. I'd have felt better had I watched this movie.
Physically, yes.
Physically,
Emotionally,
yes.
no.
Speaking of that, let's go ahead and wrap this motherfucker
Yes,
up. This
please.
has been the Disenfranchised Podcast. You can find us wherever your podcasts are sold. Leave us a rating and review. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast. 5 stars, please and thank you. Please leave a review. Hit us up, disenfranchpod@gmail.com. Chris Weitz, we're still waiting on you to come on the podcast. We will cover the Golden Compass when you come on. But please come on the podcast. Hit us up, disenfranchpod@gmail.com. Tucker mentioned it earlier, patreon.com/disenfranchpod. You can find episodes of What Are We Watching, including the yet to be released episode that we recorded 3 weeks ago that he has yet to put out. When one day we'll get that out and you'll hear it if you're a patron at the $5 level. If you're a patron at the free level, you'll still get weekly episodes of the main feed podcast, but the added bonus of getting to communicate with Tucker and I on a relatively regular basis there on the feed, patreon.com/disenfranchpod. $5
Yes, are you a
for
sit
free.
down? Are you a sit down or a stand up wiper? Sound off in the comments.
In the comments. And when we say in the comments, we specifically mean at patreon.com/disenfranchpod. Join and know our joy. You can
and our
find
wiping habits.
and our wiping habits, apparently. You can also find us on socials at Bluesky and YouTube and Letterboxd at DisenfranchPod. I, your host, Stephen Foxworthy, can be found on Letterboxd, Bluesky, and that's it at Chewy Walrus. Brett, is there a place we can find you on the socials these days?
Just on Letterboxd.
Nah. So nah.
And
Sus.
what is your sus_warlock? Great.
Yes.
That's fantastic. I love that.
Also, there's got to be some Land of the Lost video games. I just probably got to mention it. Go look them up. I'm sure they're out there.
But not for this movie, probably. Probably
Not
like
for this
the show
movie,
or
but
some
there's probably
shit, so
games based on the show. Yeah.
not super relevant.
There have been so many missed opportunities for Brett's video game corners across these several episodes that you've not been on. I'm positive. Hey Tucker, where can we find you on socials, man?
Well, Steven, I'm glad you asked just now, immediately before I said those words. So glad you asked, because you can find me on Instagram and on YouTube at Ice909. That's ICENINE, the number 0 and the number 9. Also, Tuck Mugs, I think Tuck Mugs is coming back.
I heard that you recently let your social media manager go and you're taking control of the account yourself.
I had to, and it's not because my social media manager didn't do great work. It's just that I felt like, I could do that. And like, I didn't need someone else to do it.
Fair enough.
And
yet you had someone doing it, which is wild to me. But yeah,
I only had someone doing it so that I could say I had someone doing it.
I see,
Steven.
I see.
You get that? Like, I sound like an important person if I have people managing my social media in any capacity.
Understood. I'm sure your social media manager feels very, very important and not at all exploited at this point.
No, not at all. Because you know what? Me stepping into the role frees him up to do all of the other anything that his heart desires, really.
God knows he's not managing enough social media accounts as it is.
And it's not like he's making any less money.
Correct.
Steven.
Correct.
So it's a lateral move, less responsibility, same pay. I'm paying him the same amount I was, and he's not doing shit.
You sure are.
Yeah.
Except now he's earning the amount he's making.
Absolutely. But yes, Tuck Mugs, Tuck_mugs. I'm just going to come out and say it. I'm not going to beat around the bush here. I'm not going to try and hold stuff back. Brett has sent me 2 different Ghostbusters mugs, and that's going to be our return post. We're coming back with 2 Ghostbuster mugs. No balloons, unfortunately, for you Ghostbusters 2 fans, but
no balloons for the kids.
2 different Ghostbuster mugs. I'm excited to share them. That's going to happen in the next couple days from this recording, so it might be a few days before this episode drops. Who knows? Just keep an eye out if you are following Tuck Mugs on Instagram, Tuck_mugs. Keep an eye out for that. If you're not following us, please do. Meta's horrible. Instagram is a hellscape, but you know what? Tuck Mugs is there. So if you ever need to, you know what? When I start looking at Reels, which I hardly do anymore unless it's a friend or someone I respect. I'm like, oh, I want to see what's going on. I don't know how people do TikTok, because when I start going through Reels, after about 30 seconds, I just almost start having a panic attack. This is probably way too personal for this podcast, but I start almost having a panic attack.
This coming from the guy who talks about being exclusively a stand-up wiper. Let's gauge where we've come from, Tucker.
Though. This is real shit. And it scares me. My brain starts feeling weird, and I feel disconnected, and it's scary. So much so that I feel like I have to knock myself out of some kind of hypnotism. And it's fucked up. And the fact that at least I can notice it and I'm kind of self-aware about it, that's great for me. But what about people that aren't, though? That's kind of fucked. I don't get it. Anyway, Tuck Mugs is great, you guys. It's all just mugs, and they're really pretty pictures of really cool mugs. And every post, whether it is a self-post or a guest post, has a photo of the mug from multiple angles, if that matters. If you're into that sort of thing, I'm not here to kink shame, but there is every angle of the mug. Also, you get the story behind the mug, the origin, if you will, of the mug, and also what's in it, which is cool. Everybody loves the format. So if you're not following Tuck Mugs on Instagram, if you can still stomach Instagram and Meta in general, then make sure you're at least spending your time there in a wholesome place.
I was gonna say it's better than a lot of accounts you could be following on Insta these days. So
Tuck_mugs, and we welcome everyone, because we're just talking about mugs. All we're talking about is mugs. If you're some weird person with sketchy political views, as long as you don't bring that into Tuck Mugs, we're good. And maybe it'll inspire you to not be a fucking bigot. to be around all that wholesomeness. You know what I'm saying? So everybody get in here. Let's find some common ground, and let's all stop being assholes. And we can start at Tuck Mugs. Tuck_mugs.
Let us really all stop being assholes. That's a great mid-year resolution for everybody. Let's stop being assholes.
I don't know how I got to where I got, Steven, but it was kind of impressive.
I don't either, but it felt like we should have Battle Hymn of the Republic playing underneath some of that.
I felt like Bill Pullman at Independence Day. I'm like, we will not go quietly into the night.
We will live on. We will survive. Today, we celebrate our Independence Day.
Dry eye in the house as far as Tuck Mug subscribers go right now. Like, not a dry eye in the house.
That, friends, whether you like it or not, and why would you like it, is our episode on 2009's Land of the Lost. I'm your host, Stephen Foxworthy. For my co-hosts, Tucker and Brett Wright. Until next time, you guessed it, Matt Lauer can suck it.